Hello, witches. It's Keldon. I hope you're all doing well. So, as I said in my previous video, Maggie and I have officially launched pre-orders for the second printing of the traditional Witches deck. I will leave a link down below where you can access that pre-order, but I thought I would go ahead and do a flip through of the deck for those who are unfamiliar or who are just curious to know more. The deck comes with a companion book, and this was my part of the project as the writer. And we'll get into the book in a little bit, but first I want to show you the cards. There's 28 cards in this deck, so it's relatively small, but it's really simplistic in a way that I think is very practical and down to earth, which is totally my approach to witchcraft in general. So the back of the card features our compass round symbol, which is also on the front of the book. This was a symbol that we thought really represented, overall represented the spirit of our deck, and it made a nice background image. So, flipping through the cards, this is the Flying Ointment card. This was the very first card we created together, so it has a really special place in my heart. This is the Sabbath card. I really like the detail in this image, especially all those little trees down at the bottom. The Waxing Moon. So there's 4 moon phase cards, and those cards are representative of time and growth. When they come up in a reading, I interpret it as indicators of progress or lack of progress, or where things are heading or going, if things are increasing or decreasing. There's the Waning Moon. The Toad. So there's 4 familiar cards, and those are the spirits that make up the compass round. The Toad represents the western road and the element of water. The Black Dog. Ancestors. The Crow. The Crow represents the northern road and the element of air. Cauldron. Blasting Rod. This is one of my favorites. So each of the cards contains imagery that has to do with modern traditional witchcraft practice, as well as folkloric and historical pieces of witchcraft. Also, just a side note, I baked this beautiful monstrosity today. It's a lemon blueberry pound cake, and I'm just like really proud of it. It's pretty good. I think if I were to make it again, I would add more lemon and blueberry to it just to give it a little bit more flavor. But pretty proud. Mad baking skills. Hagstone. Hearth. This is another one of my favorites. I seriously wish I had a fireplace that looked like that. I would be very happy. Holy Well. Full Moon. Rowan Tree and Red Thread. Horseshoe. Coven, another one of my favorites. I love the way that the Coven members are silhouetted against the firelight. Serpent. So the serpent is representative of the Eastern Road and the element of fire. The Witch Mother. This has to be my favorite card in the entire deck. I love the way she turned out. I love her crown that's made out of twigs, and the way her hair, to me, kind of looks like a spider. A compass round. So here you can see more detailing. There's the initials for the directions, as well as the elemental symbols. There's actually a lot of symbolism within this card, and some of it's explained in the book and some of it isn't. But if you are familiar with Robert Cochrane's work, I think you might be able to pick up on some of the symbolism in this card. And if you read my upcoming book, I also talk about it, so initiation, the mandrake root, new moon. I love this card. It kind of reminds me of the movie The Ring, but that's just that's just me. But I love it. I love how she did the white edging around it. Witch Father, another super juicy card with lots of energy to it. Broomstick, Stang, Grimoire. I love the green in this card. And then finally, the Hare, who represents the Southern Road and the element of Earth. So those are the cards. Now, the book, I apologize because my book is extremely beat up, and as I flip through it, you will notice red marks. That's because I'm currently editing it, kind of sussing out all of the little missed spelling errors and things like that for the second printing. So, dedication, table of contents. Some people were put off by the fact that there's no numbers, but it's all listed in order, and it's a pretty thin book, so it's not terribly hard to navigate at all. So there's an introduction where I talk about the deck, how we created it, and how to use it, and then it goes right into the cards. And what I really liked about this project is that it's more than just interpretations. It's not like, okay, here's what this card means. I wrote short little narrative stories, and the stories illustrate the concepts from the card. So you're also getting a look into folklore and history and even the modern practice of traditional witchcraft. And based on that, then at the very bottom, I pull out a meaning. And one thing I talk about in the introduction, as well as, I'll just say it here, the deck is geared for you to create your own meanings, and those meanings are going to change and fluctuate over time, just like folklore. So, well, it's good to kind of have an idea of the core meanings of the cards. I encourage people eventually to kind of break away from that and start forming their own relationships with each card and their own stories. So, and each card has their picture, which was a little something extra I wanted to do, because I was like, well, I don't want it to be a boring little book. I want there to be pictures. So that was really cool that we were able to do that. So you get all of these little stories written by me. And then in the back of the book, there's two spreads we created. So there's the Compass Round spread. And then, this is hard to do one-handed, there's the Stang spread, which is really fun. And those are really easy too. They're easy to remember and easy to implement. And then there's our little About Us. So it's just like a thin little book. But I wanted to do something more than just, like the white little paper booklet that you get. I wanted it to be something a little bit more, what can I think of the word? Like durable, I guess, or like has more substance, I guess, to it than just a little paper booklet. Feels a little bit more official. So that is the Traditional Witches deck. If you are interested in this deck, if you do not own it yet, I really highly encourage you to go and pre-order yourself one now. Pre-ordering, I can't remember, when did Nike say it was going to be open? I think it's going to be open until the end of August. So once it's closed, that's it, until we decide to do another printing in the future. So a lot of people were really excited, but they missed the first printing, so don't put it off. If you like this deck, if you want it, get it now. And it's great. Obviously, I'm biased because I'm a co-creator, but I use this deck a lot, whether it's just doing like a daily pull, or doing one of the spreads you saw in the book, or even using them in spells. Some of you use like your Oracle decks or tarot in spells, so you pick a card and you really focus in on its imagery, and you could do a meditation or a path working, or whatever you do. It's a very versatile deck. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. That was my plug, and until next time, take care.